It's one thing to be passionate about agriculture. It's another to use that passion as a platform for something much bigger. Zach McCann has spent years supporting young farmers across Banks County and beyond. However, that mission took on a very personal and unexpected new meaning after a life-altering diagnosis. Rather than stepping back, Zach leaned in. Recently, our Ray DeLesio sat down with Zach to talk about his journey and how he's turning pain into purpose.
It began with discomfort, the kind you brush off. You're young, you're healthy, you're newly married. But in January, Zach McCann, a 30-year-old leader in Georgia agriculture, heard words that stopped time. Stage 4 colorectal cancer. This image would come to define him. A face of strength, raw and real. Quote, "I was too young to have cancer," Zach told the world. But cancer doesn't check ID.
I didn't have any true curative options at diagnosis. And so that was challenging to hear, that we didn't really accept the fact that we didn't have a curative option. We were going to push for that. But it was really a whirlwind of shock for those first couple weeks of kind of coming to grips with this is not what we thought our early 30s would look like, and it is not what we expected. And so our reality got shifted very quickly.
Zach doesn't live on a farm, but in every way that matters, because Zach McCann is agriculture. As chair of the Banks County Young Farmers and Ranchers Committee, he organizes, inspires, and leads with purpose.
We've had a tremendous amount of help since I've been diagnosed. There's lots of things that I can't do that I used to do anymore, and things that I need help with. And the core group of the Banks County Farm Bureau and other producers in our ag community have gone above and beyond to help me out, to take care of my family when we need. It's a unique challenge going through chemo with a 10-year-old daughter. Most of the people that are getting chemo don't have to worry about trying to get home by 4 to get the kid off the bus. There's not a whole lot of people there that have to worry about that. And so being a young parent brings some different challenges to cancer.
Just weeks removed from the operating table, Zach arrived at a charity skeet shoot hosted by the Banks County Young Farmers and Ranchers Committee. Not to wave, not to smile for photos, but to compete. With rifle in hand, he stood tall. A quiet, yet symbolic message that cancer had made a mistake.
I had a great time. I've shot some skeet in the past. That's the only second time I've shot a fancy quartz like that. But no, my goal was to be able to shoot, and I knew that I could not, but if I felt good enough to shoot, I was going to shoot. And that's kind of the mindset you have to take, because if it gets pretty easy to say, well, I can't do that anymore, or I can't do that anymore. You either figure out a way to still do it or a different way of doing it to continue to move forward and do things that you enjoy.
Here at the heart of Banks County agriculture, Zach isn't just chairing meetings, he's leading a movement, one rooted in strength, vulnerability, and a desire to protect others from walking this road alone. You see, colorectal cancer is the second leading cause of cancer deaths in young adults, yet it's rarely talked about. Well, Zach is hoping to change that through his work, his voice, and yes, even his scars. He's reminding all of us that real courage doesn't hide, and no one fighting cancer should ever feel like they're fighting alone. I think, Zach, a lot of us have been around people who have battled a terminal illness. I've been around that a lot. One common denominator in all that it always seems is there's always that supportive spouse.
Yes.
And for you, that supportive spouse is Lindsay. Talk about that.
So Lindsay is my rock. She helps with everything. She's continued working full time during this time because she's had to pick up our insurance since I left UGA, and she picks up the slack on weeks where I feel terrible and not able to be much help. So it's definitely challenging to a marriage for sure, but also it's been beautiful to see her passion for taking care of me and our family. One of the reasons why we've been more vocal about telling our story is because this is becoming an epidemic in young people. People under 40 and under 45 getting diagnosed with colon cancer has skyrocketed in the last 10 years. And so the way I think about it, I was diagnosed at 30. There'll be people in my social circle from college and all my peers that will be diagnosed by the time they're 40. And if knowing my story can get them a colonoscopy 6 months sooner when they see symptoms, then I've done my job.
With every step, Zach and Lindsay are opening the door to truth. About fear, about faith, about the fight for tomorrow. They're doing so one story, one chapter at a time. They're telling stories of love tested, of communities coming together, and of one man's mission to turn pain into purpose. This isn't just a fight for his life. It's Zach's call for all of us to start talking. In Maysville for the Farm Monitor, I'm Ray DeLessio.
Powerful story. Thank you, Ray. And by the way, that skeet shooting event he mentioned raised more than $20,000. Every penny of it will go directly to support Zach and his wife, Lindsay, as they continue this fight together.